the Mom and Popcast. What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Jocelyn, and I'm a hair colorist.
A hair colorist. All right.
Yes.
So, exactly kind of tell us what that is. Because I'm a dude and I don't know anything about hair.
So it's basically, I focus on doing a lot of like color corrections, a lot of blondes right now, and pretty much dealing with all like color service.
In hair.
And hair, yeah.
Do you do guys at all or no?
I do. There is guys that do come in and get their hair color done. There's also like people with gray hair that come in for touch-ups. But yeah, I do some like fun colors on guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because I remember, when I was growing up, the style was have like a couple highlights in dudes' hairs, right?
Oh, like the frosted tips.
Yeah. There you go. Is that still in or is that a dead...
Not really. I would say right now it's like a fun colors are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
like
too much.
Blue and
yeah,
red?
like blue, red, and
Really?
stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't judge if that's what makes them happy, right? So you said more color. No cutting at all?
No cutting at all, no.
And why'd you decide to go that way?
Hold on, it's falling.
It's cool.
Sorry.
You could leave them off if it's better.
Yeah?
Yeah, you could leave them off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Or can I just... Hold on. It was just sliding up. Okay, sorry.
Better?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You keep them
Okay,
off.
it's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So why not cutting?
Just from the start, when I started school, I went into a program that was about a year, and they told us there, it's either you do cut or color. And from the beginning, I just really liked doing, I was into art since I was little, so I just started liking the color more. At first, I wasn't too sure, but it's something that like I really liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there more money in color or is there more money in cutting?
You know what? Some people will say it's both, but I feel like color services, there's, for example, color corrections that you can charge like so much just from correcting a hair color. And yeah, haircuts, yes, but I feel like there's just so much more that you can add into a color. A haircut, you just cut it and that's it. And that's what you charge. A color, you can add services into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they didn't let you do both, right?
Yeah.
I at least for me, I always think like the hairstylist, they could just do everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But since you specialize in it, I would definitely, if I was a chick or if I was looking to get hair in my color, I'd definitely want to go to someone that's specializing, just in color. That's all she does, right?
Yeah.
And it would be a little bit more like calming to someone, or you kind of feel more comfortable,
they have
right?
more experience.
Yeah. And I think for hair cutting, I feel like you might maybe make as much money from what you're saying, but maybe you're just more busy, right?
You have to have
since it's lower
more
rates.
clients
Yeah.
at like a certain amount in a day.
Yeah. So kind of tell us a little bit of background about yourself, right? Fun fact, I met Jocelyn through a 370Z group. Well, she had a 50, but, a couple of us had 50s and 70s and 240s and whatnot. But, you don't do this full time, right?
I don't. I actually just do it as, I wouldn't say a side job, but it's kind of like my part-time job. I am a medical assistant as well, so that's kind of my full-time job. And I actually love doing both, so it keeps me like very busy. And I just try to, a lot of people are like, how do you do it? Like, you're literally working sometimes like 7 days a week with no days off. But like when you like doing something, that doesn't feel like a job at all.
Yeah, definitely. If you were to go full time in hair coloring, right?
Yes.
What would kind of push you to go that route?
I feel like maybe if, I don't know, I guess like
You never thought of it?
I've never no, not really. I'm someone who doesn't want to just stay still.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I went to school for medical assisting too. So I was like, oh, I need to add something else onto it. And I tend to put so much on my plate that I just want to keep doing more and more.
Yeah.
So I just keep piling up. But yeah, if I focused on it and I were to put my all into hair color, I feel like it would be as successful.
Yeah.
If I were. Yeah. I just haven't done it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And why hair coloring? Like you said, you went into medical assisting, right? Mm-hmm. What made you just say hey, I want to do hair too?
Yeah.
Or did you do hair first, then medical?
Yeah, I actually did hair first.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny because it all started from, in school they kind of push you what do you want to do after school? They kind of want you to have your whole future already figured out.
Yeah.
So my counselor was like, oh, there's a field trip for you to go. I know that you've been saying you want to try out hairstyling and everything. So I said, all right, this is one thing too. I did ask my friends, you're in high school, you're like, oh, you want to come on this field trip with me? And they were like, no, they weren't that interested. And I was like, oh, should I go by myself? And I was like, you know what? All right, I'll go. And I ended up going. And that's when I was like, you know what? I want to do hair. I saw how the students were working with other clients. And I was like, that is exactly what I want to do. And that's kind of where the passion started. You see everyone else. I guess it's more of a making someone feel better about themselves. That's feels nice at the end of you working with them.
Yeah.
They're,
giving them a little change in their life, right? Now, for me, I go to barbershops, right? And I'm telling you, dudes probably gossip more than girls at barbershops. Do you get that connection with people when you're, dyeing their or working on their hair?
Yeah, so I feel like we as hairstylists, we're kind of like a therapist at the same time. People go through stuff, and they're busy with their lives, and that's the one moment they get to sit down, they get to relax and vent. Right. Yes. So that's the one time. And sometimes, they go in and they're like, oh, my man just broke up with me. Make me look cute. Yeah. And then, you make that huge impact in them where they walk out and they just feel beautiful. And it's it feels nice to see that in them. Yeah.
No, it's definitely a good feeling, right? I mean, just for me, we were talking before the podcast started. I mean, just being able to talk to someone and have them, have someone else look at your life, right? And then, give little comments, give little encouragements. It could go a long way for them, right?
Yeah.
Where do you see the, one, how do you have the time, right? How do you schedule? You got to be super organized because I suck at an organization, and there'll be some times where it's I'm getting out of work and I'm like, oh shoot, I got class today, right? And then shoot, I actually scheduled someone to jump on the podcast with me too. So what do I do, right?
Yeah.
So it's oh shit, do I reschedule with them?
Yeah.
It kind of looks bad. So, how do you stay organized?
You know what? It's a 24/7 thing. When you do something that you love, you literally have to sleep, eat, bring it with you on everything.
Yeah.
There's times where I'm having free time on my days off and I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with my family and I'm still on my app scheduling people. I'm still returning those messages. I don't get a day off, which is okay, but you kind of have to put your all into it if you want it that bad. So
you gotta hustle.
You do. The
hustle don't stop. How does the husband to be, right?
Yeah.
Husband to be, does he ever get frustrated? Dude, just put the phone down.
Yeah. A little bit.
No, it's always like that. Even with my girl, it's okay, put the phone down. But now she's the realtor, so she kind of sees, a lot of the times, when I help my dad with the landscaping company, right? Mm-hmm. They call me, right? And I got to answer, or, they message me, or you got to schedule something, right?
Yeah.
And that's not including my job, right? And then now, getting people on the podcast and scheduling with them and, you know, following up.
Right, you're busy.
It's a lot, right? And if you think about it, maybe 10, 20 years ago, people didn't have this, you know, computer at the touch of their hand, and they're able to schedule, right?
And that's the nice thing about it, too. It makes it so much easier. Like, it's not like back in the day where they got to call in and you got to be there at the salon for you to pick up the phone and schedule. Now it's like through an app. So you just have to schedule through there. It's like easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you created your own app? You got your own website? Or
not yet.
Okay.
So it's basically all through messages that I'm doing it right now. I'm scheduling. I do have an app where you can schedule through it, but I'm still trying to figure it out through there. But that's where I schedule them through. Yeah.
So your main like advertisement, your main, you know, outreach, is it like just word of mouth, majority word of mouth, Instagram?
Yeah, so I feel like right now it's Instagram and Facebook that I have, but also like when it comes to hair color, your clients are a walking board for you. So when other people see their hair and they're like, "Oh, who did your hair?" And then that's when I usually, so I do have cards as well. So as soon as I get someone new in, I'll be like, "Here's 5 cards," you know, like hand them out. So that's what I do. And, or if I ever see anyone random out on the street, I meet new girls or guys, I'll tell them, "Hey, you know, if your girl's interested," or, you know, you have to put the word out for yourself. Yeah,
for sure. No, it's like we said, it's a constant hustle, right?
Yeah.
Even though you're out at the bar having fun, you know,
24/7.
You got a little stack of cards in your pocket or in your purse.
Yeah.
Right, and say, "Oh, here, right?"
You hand them
Worst
out.
case, they say no. Worst case, they know somebody,
and
you know,
give it to them.
And it's like, "Oh, I met this girl at, you know, whatever bar, and you know, try her out or reach out," right?
Yeah. And just how you said too with social media, it's like such a big impact because I'll have people that I do, you know, their hair color, and then they share it, and then someone on their page notices it, and they're like, "Oh, you got their hair done by them," so then trust becomes there, and then they're like, "Okay, let me hit her up."
Yeah.
So yeah.
You kind of mentioned trust. Have you had any uh-ohs?
Like a hair color that I did that was like oopsies.
Yeah.
I had I guess like clients where they're like, "Oh, the tone's too dark," or something like minor. I haven't had anything, thank God, like
her
big,
whole hair burns
like horrible.
off
No, knock on wood. But I have had where they're like not happy with their tone or something that can be switched, and you know what, I take fault for it, and then I tell them, "You know what, come back. I'm not going to charge you for it. Come back." And it was my fault. So I'm going to take that blame, and I want to fix it, and I want them to be happy with what they come out with. You're paying money. So, I want my clients to be happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they can't do... Like, you can't correct it there, right? Because then it's, like, too much for the hair?
On the appointment, no.
Yeah.
So I usually have them come back.
Yeah.
But
Is there, like, certain time? Like, does it have to be, like, 2 weeks?
I try to do it... if it's just, like, a tone, I try to do it within that week. Just because they're not walking around with what they don't love. And, so I try to do it as soon as I can. Even if that means I'm not going to get a break or anything. I try to fit them in. I got to do it,
Gotta do it. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years with this?
Well, you know what? It took about, I would say like 3 years or so for me to have enough clientele. So if I continue working hard at what I'm doing, I hope I see like even double or triple of my clientele as now. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, are you going to do hair forever?" And I'm going to do it till, you know,
you get tired of it?
Till I get tired of it, yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Do you do any special, like, occasions? Like, do you do, like, weddings? Do you do, you know, quinceañeras or bachelor parties or whatever?
Yeah, at the beginning...
Bachelorette, right?
Bachelorette, yeah. I mean, I could do the guys' hair, too. We did, like, at the beginning, we, like, the group of girls I went to school with, we got together and we did actually do a couple weddings at the beginning. And you know what? It's good money there too, because you're having a couple girls
At one time.
At one time, one day, like within a couple hours. And if we worked hard towards it, it'd be something that'd be successful too. You know, everyone always weddings, quinceañeras, like always looking. And if you can travel to them, it's a good business. I'm sorry, but yeah, and we did try it out. But like I said, colors were where I like it. Yeah.
I guess where you kind of said it was like a school, right? Mm-hmm. Is there anybody in this industry that is kind of like the master of it? Like, for example, for soccer, it's always like Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's the guy, or Lionel Messi. Is there someone in the hair color industry? Yeah.
A guy Tang. Really? I feel like any hairstylist knows who he is.
Yeah, I've never.
Guy Tang, you're gonna have to search him up. But yeah, he does awesome work, and I feel
is he
like
actually a guy, or
he is a guy. Okay. He is a guy. So he does like amazing work. He does like a lot of like cool colors, like a lot of color corrections too. So I guess when I was in school, that's kind of who I was like looking up to, and. Yeah, I think he started off like in a salon suite too or something like that. And it's just like he moved up. He's like really famous. Yeah.
So I think you got your own salon now, right?
Yeah.
Or is it like a
salon suite? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a start. Like I said, I was working for someone.
Yeah.
And then, my mom knew this hair salon owner, and she told me, hey, go with her. She's looking for girls to rent out chairs. And I was like, oh, you're kind of like, I'm comfortable where I'm at. But I was like, you know what? I'll just try it. I'll give it a try. I went, and she's like, yeah, I'm looking for girls. I started working with her. And then after a while, I was like ready to be on my own. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at right now. And you know what? Like, I don't know.
Is it going better?
It is, because you get to schedule your own schedule. Yeah. You get to do your own thing. You don't have anyone like... And
so with her, would she schedule stuff for you sometimes?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I still kind of did my own thing. But she was still, I guess, a little over me because it's her salon. It's understandable,
it's like
Yeah. So now that I'm on my own, I get to do my own thing, my own schedule. I get to, I guess, like when you're in a salon, there are a lot of like training. And I feel like with hair, you don't learn till you do it on your own. Mm-hmm. You learn from your own mistakes. You learn your own technique. There's really no right way to do it. You'll find your own way of doing it. And that's how like you become so good at it. Yeah.
So technique, you mentioned. So from the school that they kind of taught you how to do everything, have you changed your ways? Like, have you learned a little bit different?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, because school is like, I would say like if you're in beauty school, kind of don't take everything. I guess like they'll teach you the basics, but like I said, you won't probably use that. You'll learn your own technique later on that will make you the best in it. Yeah.
Now with like technology or new products or ways of coloring, how do you stay up to date? Is there a lot of change within the industry?
It does. I feel like you do have to take continuing education for sure. Styles are always changing all the time. So there's going to be new stuff that people love. And I feel like if you don't continue your education, you're just going to kind of stay in one spot. Right. And then styles are going to change, and then people are going to be like, oh, she's still doing the same thing. Like, I don't like this. There's something new. So I do get like clients that come in and they're like, oh, I heard about this new style online. Like, can you do it? And we do it, like you have to keep learning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, would you say like if someone comes in with like a picture, is that a lot helpful versus them just telling you, hey, I want this, this, and this?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah?
Yeah, a lot.
Right, so all the girls, make sure you take pictures.
Take like 2.
Yeah, okay.
2 or 3.
Two. The more the merrier,
Yeah.
right? That way they, I guess you can match, right? Match as best as you can.
Yeah.
And then is there ever, like, because I know, like, my girl, she's got curly hair, right? Can you even dye that, or what do you do with that stuff?
Yeah, you can. You just have to be so careful.
Yeah.
With curly hair, it's very fragile. So every single time someone comes in from another hairstylist, I tell them, for example, if they have black hair and they're like, you know what, I want to go platinum. Their hair is very fragile. So I tell them we have to take baby steps. And the other thing too with my clients, I don't like to promise and be like, oh, you will be platinum in a day. No, like I try to tell them I'm going to try my best to get you where you want to, but it might not happen today. And that's what you kind of have to do. You can't promise someone. That's how you get angry clients.
Angry clients.
Yeah.
So you're kind of saying like it's a process, right?
It is. Most of the time it is a process. And it's hard sometimes for people to stick with you. Like, I feel like you have to like explain step by step what you're going to do so they see the big picture of it. Sometimes you can say, okay, come back within a month. But then they're like, what's next? Like, what's going to happen? So you have to explain to your clients step by step of what your process is. Yeah.
So it's I feel like they might also sometimes see it as like, oh, she just wants me to come back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She's trying to get this money, right?
But in reality, it's not. Yeah.
Now, when that happens, like if it's, what do you say? It's maybe like a 3-time thing to actually get to where they want. Do you kind of go through that before you even start? Or how does that work?
Yeah, I explained to them exactly an average, not like specifically how much, but an average of like how long it's going to take, by when might they see results. And I just tell them to stick through. I have had some people where they don't want to and they say, you know, she didn't do it on the first time, so I'm going to go to someone else. And then they end up going to someone else. And then sometimes they do come back and they're like, you know what, you were right. This person did it one time, but they damaged my hair.
Yeah.
They didn't explain that. And that's why I'm like, baby steps is to go, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like everything in life, right? Baby steps.
Yeah.
Just like babies, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes people want instant results all the time.
I know sometimes there's those babies that go from crawling to sprinting, right?
Yeah.
But for sure, it's like, just like in anything, right? You run in a marathon, you don't just go straight up and, sign up to the Boston Marathon and run it. You kind of, maybe you start off by running a mile, then 2, then 3, then keep building up, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like hair's kind of the same.
It is.
How do you get new, or how do you react, right, when the girls do go to someone else? Do you feel betrayed?
A little bit. I guess it's like anyone, you work.
They cheated on you.
Yeah, they did. Basically did. And, I can't really do anything. I can't like force them to stay with me. But I have had people where they leave and they say, oh, you know what, you're too pricey. Let me go to someone cheaper or someone who doesn't charge as much. And then that happens and they will come right back and they will be like, oh, she doesn't do the same technique as you, and yeah, it's kind of like a breakup and then you get back together. Yeah. So they're right back with you.
Has there ever been a situation where someone does go to someone else and it's like they come back and it's pretty, like their hair is really damaged and you got to take time for it to like grow back? Or
I've worked with people where, like I said, blonde is a process. So I do tell them that. And this client in particular, she did go to someone else and the hair was a little damaged and it was a color correction. And you know what? Color corrections are more expensive. Mm-hmm. So that's what I let them know. I said, if you continue with me, it's kind of going to be at the same pricing. But as soon as you go to someone else, I have to fix that. And now you're starting from point one where you're starting from the beginning. And it's a whole nother process, and then they just kind of want it instantly, you know?
Yeah. What held you back from getting your own salon?
I guess because now I'm a medical assistant and now I'm working there full time. But I've thought about it. And the thing is, being a hair colorist and not doing both, it is a little scary because you're like, will I succeed in this, or should I? I mean, you can always hire. The thing is, I do have a best friend who's a hair stylist.
Yeah.
So she does also work where I was working before. She does all the haircuts only and all the hairstyles. So we have talked about joining together, and that'd be like perfect, you know? One does one, the other one does the other. We have talked about it, and it's maybe something in the plans. So at this moment, I don't know if that will come true. Yeah.
No, that's awesome because you kind of split the worry, right?
Yeah, you do.
Because when you're starting your own thing and you're opening your own doors, right?
Yeah.
It's I mean, everyone's scared, right? And sometimes we just gotta, if you have someone that's going, like, other than your, you know, significant other, and you have someone else that's kind of going through the process with you, it eases up, right?
Yeah.
On you. Less stress. Well, I guess same amount of stress, just spread out between the both of you, right?
Yeah. But I just feel like if you don't push to try it out, will you ever know?
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's scarier, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
then
guess.
you're 80 years old, and you're like, what if I would have did this?
Where
right?
would my life had been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For young stylists, what are some recommendations you give them?
I would say don't give up within the year or two
Yeah.
that you're out of school, because that's when I feel like a lot of people give up straight out of school, and they're kind of like, oh, I'm not getting enough money. I'm not being like successful. I don't have enough clients. And then they give up.
Yeah.
And then you just give up. They say it usually takes 1 to 2 years to start noticing clientele build up. Yeah. So
Definitely. I think, for everything, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just time, and you got to put in the work, right?
You do.
Like we were talking about earlier, you know, even if you're at the bar and you meet someone new, dude, hand that business card.
Yeah.
Even if they throw it in the trash, you know, you at least did that. You tried.
Yeah.
It's better than not handing them nothing at all, right?
Right.
Or social media, just keep posting. Do you do any like like where you pay to promote your hair?
To promote it?
Yeah. Or is it more organic? Because I've had people on the show that say, you know, they'll post one post and they don't promote it, and they get a lot more organic, clientele versus when they actually put like $25, $35 into it for the month, right?
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but now with my Instagram page, I can, I guess, publish and promote it.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried it yet. So, will it probably boost up clientele? Probably.
Yeah.
It's something I have to try out still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you haven't done it?
I haven't done it. I just kind of try to post a lot. I used a lot of my personal Facebook too. And then probably people get annoyed for me posting so much. But,
dude,
put the word out there,
You have
to do what you have to do.
You want to be known to all your social media. Mm-hmm. Hey, she's a hair color lady.
Right. Yeah.
And that's your business. So that's what's putting food on your table. Mm-hmm. And that's what you got to put out there, right? Yeah. And I think if they unfollow you, they're still gonna know you as the hair color lady.
They are.
So it's like, when someone says, "Oh, I need to get my hair done."
I remember this
lady.
lady.
Oh, well, this girl's the girl. She's annoying on Instagram.
Yeah.
But she's the girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
It's true.
What are your goals from here?
I guess I want to get myself known more. And like I said, takes 24/7 for you to work towards it. And I feel like every day, just interacting with every client, it's a
building that relationship.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope if I do set my 100% on this and I leave medical assisting, you know, everything's going to happen how it should.
Yeah.
So I just kind of work hard and just
so you're trusting in the process, right? Before I die, blank.
That's a
Fill
hard
it in.
one. There's so much.
Well, you're getting married out of the way.
Yeah.
Soon, so congratulations.
So check mark.
Yep. So you got your guy.
Yeah.
So what's your?
I guess I want to like travel a lot. That's the other thing too.
Okay.
I just
Anywhere specific?
No, I just kind of want to travel and get to know other cultures and other people. Because you know what? Like maybe it's same related to hair. Like, what if like I shouldn't be living in this state and maybe somewhere else?
Yeah.
There's more. You won't know. You know, you have to go out there and learn. But yeah, I think traveling. There's a lot of bucket lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Let everybody know where they could find you: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
They can find me at Beauty Stylist JALVA, and that's on Instagram and on Facebook.
Awesome. And I'll have her information in the description below, and I'll have it wherever you listen to the podcast. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.